Labyrinth is a beautiful fantasy movie starring David Bowie, and it's a classic, but it's also a real thing that happens in Los Angeles every year, and it is upon us now. I've been before, and I'm gonna go again this year. It is a really wonderful thing. You have live performances, a giant dragon, goblins, and you become part of this world. You become part of the fantasy. It's like LARPing, but more beautiful and more fancy and more involved even. So I went to go check out what goes into this, because it is not just a bunch of ad-libbing performing in janky-ass costumes. It is beautiful. So let's take a look. You wouldn't think a masquerade ball, a fantasy masquerade ball, would include much sword fighting and murder, but turns out that is a big part of Labyrinth. And for that, there needs to be something put in place. You can't just be swinging a sword willy-nilly. I've tried it, it went bad. And for that, you have fight directors, fight choreographers, and that is Jessica Aaron Bennett.
In the past, we've had some really giant battles, so it's weeks and weeks of rehearsal, and so it's really, we get the story, we get the idea, and then it's putting dozens of bodies on a little tiny stage, and how we create violence and make it really realistic.
I mean, I can kind of guess how you choreograph a dance. How do you choreograph a fight?
Very similar. So, especially for the Labyrinth, we work with music. We actually get our music and we choreograph to it, and really it's how do we get the pointy end in the other person, and how that person, through character work, how they might or might not defend it. And then this year we're kind of going a little crazy on some takedowns and some things that we haven't done before. 1, 2, get out! Down. 1, 2, yeah! 1, 2, My favorite thing about Labyrinth is if you believe you're a fairy, you come and be a fairy. And if you want to be walking around half naked, this is the place for you to do it and to be accepted. And the stories here are magnificent. You can go on any stage and you can see something absolutely incredible.
It's a whole spectacle. It's like Fantasia going on over here. Got some amazing dancers, stunt performers, creature actors, props. It's so fun.
How does that come together? I mean, you decide on sort of like a loose storyline and then figure out what artistic pieces you want to put in.
Yes, so we're provided a script and then we get to interpret that as we choose, and it takes long nights, lots of dark chocolate and inspiration, and it just pops out of us like that. And then we get in the studio, we start collaborating with our dancers. I love receiving input from the dancers, from awesome Lennon here, and it just slowly forms. So Kim, are you feeling fairylicious tonight?
Only every day of my life.
Yes, that's what I love to hear. We want to invite you to come be a fairy with us. You ready? You ready to fly?
You will soon learn that was a mistake, but let's do it.
Woo! I would recommend that everyone have an experience of their own. There's so many different rooms to choose from. Everyone comes out with a different experience. You can go with a group, you can go by yourself. You're gonna see something crazy at every minute of every night.
It's fun to be a fairy!
There's dancing, there's fighting, there's sometimes singing, but most of all, we've forgotten something, which is puppets!
Puppets? Yeah, we have a lot of amazing creatures that inhabit our world that our puny physical forms cannot portray properly. So we have created these magical puppets to kind of demonstrate
Performance lair.
Like this guy right here. This is Kull. He's king of the Earth Kingdom of our Earth Elementals and the Elemental Court.
And there's a dragon.
There's a dragon. It is Sparkles the dragon.
I mean, when you think of puppetry, one name comes to mind, and that's Henson. And you have something for people who are fans of the Jim Henson legacy.
2 years ago, we got to actually do this amazing video called The Finer Things, where the goblins actually showed you how they prepare the tea. And we're bringing all those puppets back and more this year, and actually doing a tribute to Jim Henson as well as to David Bowie. But you got to be careful, though, because during the show, the goblin puppets are running about, so you really got to be careful. So
Goblins, their thing is they're really irritating.
yeah, they're irritating, and sometimes you just really gotta show them who's boss.
Stop!
We have a crew of over 400 of amazing artists who work all across all the different, not just entertainment industry, but everything from studio artists to kind of fashion costumers, to theatrical costumers, to computer engineers and electrical engineers to make all these different gadgets and everything.
This is more than a show because you become part of this world for an evening. So you could be maybe a fairy person or an elemental, or maybe you're a brave Sir Knight.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would be.
I think I have some ideas. Why don't we dip into our costume stock and see what we can find you? Something a little more suitable for the ball.
Makeover!
Yay!
Yeah, we did it.
You liking this?
I do. I feel so sequined and sparkly. I feel like I could be easily like a fantasy mage.
Excellent. Good. All right. So now you have learned to fight like a Lich King,
Yes.
and you've learned how to dance like the Queen of the Fairies. You've learned how to avoid all the goblins and their trickery,
Yes.
and you have now been festooned with this most magnificent costume and these amazing wings.
Does that mean I'm ready?
I think you're ready.
I'm ready to go forth.
Go forth.
So basically, it's full of the most talented people showing their dedication and love of fantasy. And if you feel that love too, you should definitely go check it out on August 5th and 6th. I've got my tickets, but these are just for me. You can go get yours at the Labyrinth website, which we posted below. It'll be so much fun, and I will see you there.